Welcome back. India today hit out at the United Nations for its selective outrage. When there is an attack on Abrahamic religions, there is global outrage. But when Pakistan targets its minorities, especially Pakistan and its proxies, whether it's Hindus or Buddhists or Sikhs, why the silence?
India today hit out at the double speak of the United Nations and its failure to condemn rise in violence and ethnic cleansing of Hindus, Sikhs and Buddhists.
However, we find disconcerting trends in the world of today. At the outset, let me state that we fully agree that anti-Semitism, Islamophobia and anti-Christian acts need to be condemned, and India firmly condemns such acts.
I now give the floor to the...
Speaking at the 75th edition of the United Nations General Assembly session on culture of peace, India said it was disconcerting to see august bodies like the UN speak only on attacks of three Abrahamic religions, Islam, Christianity and Judaism, but in the same voice not condemning the ethnic cleansing of Sikhs and Hindus or the targeting of followers of Buddhism and the destruction of the Bamyan Buddhas.
UN resolutions on such important issues speak only of these three Abrahamic religions together. This august body fails to acknowledge the rise of hatred and violence against Buddhism, Hinduism and Sikhism also.
India singled out Pakistan's systematic attack on minorities and more specifically handing over the management of the Kartarpur Sahib corridor to a non-Sikh body by the Imran Khan government, a clear violation of UN-promoted culture of peace.
Pakistan has already violated the earlier resolution on culture of peace passed last year by this very assembly. This act goes against Sikh religion and its preservation and protection.
India emphasized the contrast where all religions and sects of religion, including all sects of Islam, peacefully coexist in India, unlike in Pakistan, where after targeting Hindus, Sikhs, Christians and other minorities, the majority community is turning on other sects of Islam.
India has yet again exposed Pakistan's doublespeak on secularism by raising the issue of how Pakistani government has taken over the religious committee of Kartarpur Sahib corridor. India not only has raised the issue of Pakistan but also has raised the issue of how international community should come together to recognize persecution of all religious communities and not just the Abrahamic order. In New Delhi, Geeta Mohan for India Today.
Joining us from Pakistan is senior journalist Mona Alam. Also with me on the broadcast is Ambassador Vishnu Prakash and Lieutenant General Gurmeet Singh. Ambassador Vishnu Prakash, if I may come to you first, sir. Handing over the Kartarpur Sahib corridor to a non-Sikh Prabandhak committee. Is that illegal, wrong, malicious by Pakistan? What's the message that Imran Khan government sends out, sir?
The message is very simple, Gaurav, that non-Muslims are second-class citizens and Pakistan does not care about the sentiments of the religious minorities. I have a very simple question. Let's say that a country hands over a mosque to an organization which is not run by Muslims but other minorities when the suitable capable Muslim community members are there. Now, so long as from Pakistan's perspective, this country is not China, how will Pakistan react? Here is a body, the Pakistan Sikh Gurdwara Prabandhak Committee, which is handling the matter, handling the sacred shrine. What is the reason except show disrespect to the community? That is the only reason, and it is condemnable.
An intent to show disrespect, a deliberate attempt. But is this showing disrespect only to the Pakistani Sikhs or even to India? General Gurmeet Singh, is it even legal to do that? Can a non-Sikh Prabandhak committee run a Gurdwara, and that too as holy as the Kartarpur Sahib?
Gaurav, you are absolutely right. It's actually totally against the interest of the nation as such. And I would say it is fundamentally and from the basics, it's a wrong step. I would say it is against the principle of representation and participation. One just can't imagine how can you have a party where the representation from the religion for which it is anchored on is not included. It is basically an arbitrary and a unilateral decision. It disrespects the basics of representation. It is against the spirit and the sentiment of the religion for which it is being anchored. I would say, it clearly shows there is an ill intention. They want to probably induct the people from Pakistan Army or the ISI or with some wrong intention. I think that is where it has gone wrong. In fact, they have defied the very principles of participation.
Fair enough. So you're saying that the Pakistan government is insulting Sikhs. Mona Alam, why would Pakistan do that? It was with much fanfare that the Kartarpur Sahib corridor, was opened. Why would Pakistan hand over the management of Kartarpur Sahib corridor to Muslims and remove Sikhs, the Sikh Gurdwara Prabandhak Committee of Pakistan?
No, but Gaurav, I don't see any malafide or any malicious intent in doing so. I mean, the fanfare was very well deserved that we're talking about. Of course, it's been an epitome of interfaith harmony that we opened up the Kartarpur corridor for Sikhs across the world, not just from India. And India was extremely against it.
And then handed over the management to Muslims.
No, but I don't think that's a
no. So
you
what was the devious intention of Imran Khan?
It's a very small matter.
Why would a Gurdwara be managed by Muslims and not by Sikhs?
It's not managed by Muslims. I think this is absolutely a wrong stated. A wrong stated thing that you're putting up here. It is not managed by Muslims. The Gurdwara Prabandhak Committee is on rotation. The members are on rotation, and they're always supposed to be non-Muslims. They cannot be Muslims as per the rules and as per the bylaws of the Gurdwara Prabandhak Committee.
Please read up. Please read up.
This time
you must read up on this. You must read up on this, and Ambassador Vishnu Prakash will set you wise.
No, that's not true. You can name the members if you think there are Muslims.
In the Kartarpur Sahib corridor, in the Kartarpur Sahib corridor management committee, there are no Sikhs. General Gurmeet Singh.
This time only.
Isn't this blasphemy?
Absolutely. In fact, I would say that this exclusion of the Sikhs from this committee which they have made, or the group which they have made, it itself indicates that there is something wrong in the intention and the thinking. In fact, I would say that Pakistan has got to come away from hatred for India, anti-India activities, still being the center of gravity of terrorism, looking for avenues of spreading the terror and all. I would say that look at it not only on this case, you look at the members of minority, how they've been persecuted, the way conversion has been targeted them, the way the killing for these people have been done. I would say that there is something basically wrong. There's something fundamentally wrong because it's defying the basic principle of representation of the Sikhs into this committee.
Okay. Do you see a bigger pattern to this, Ambassador Vishnu Prakash, the manner in which it's not just this Prabandhak committee, the Kartarpur Sahib, but the manner in which Hindus are treated in Pakistan, Sikhs are forcibly converted in Pakistan, the way other Christian minorities, Shias, Ahmadiyas, the way they are treated in Pakistan?
Why just Ahmadiyas? Even Shias, as you very rightly said, are not considered equal to Sunnis. The Pakistani polity is completely fractured. The minorities are dwindling. There was a large percentage of Hindus, something like 16 to 17% at the time of independence. It's down to 2%. Hindu girls are abducted. They are converted to Islam. Now, it is just going on. My respectful question to our guest from Pakistan is that was there anything wrong with how the Sikh Gurdwara Prabandhak Committee was handling their own religious affairs? Now, can a non-Sikh handle a revered sacred temple of the Sikhs? Similarly, can a non-Muslim handle or administer a mosque. Why is it being done? What is the purpose except to show disrespect and to discriminate against minorities? It's as simple as that.
And Mona, this is what India is calling out, and it's not just in Pakistan, not just by Pakistani state, but by Pakistan's proxies, the Taliban, the destruction of the Bamiyan Buddhas, another case in point, the targeting of Sikhs in Afghanistan, 23 Sikhs killed in the Gurdwara attack in Afghanistan. Again, Pakistan's proxies, whether it's Taliban or the Al-Qaeda, involved in it, Mona.
Gaurav, you must be aware and probably better
Taliban
than me that
is,
the dossier,
are you denying
the dossier
it?
that
Your
was handed
generals,
over
your brigadiers and generals had to be airlifted. Had to be airlifted from Afghanistan when the Americans started bombing it.
Defense matters. You should be very well aware and very, very well known to this fact that the dossier that was conveyed to India by Pakistan just few days ago, that spoke of the consulates, the training camps of militants which are operating in Afghanistan against Pakistan by India. India has been operating those training camps of militants in Afghanistan only to infiltrate terrorists
I
in
don't
Pakistan.
want to make this bulletin a tutu-meme between India and Pakistan because it's something far more serious. It's far more serious. I am not. It's a stated fact. It's the Afghanistan government. Afghanistan government has called out Pakistan's support to Taliban. Amrullah Saleh has called out Pakistan's support to terrorism, and he's the vice president of Afghanistan, madam. And it's not India that's doing it. That's point one. But point two, very important aspect, Ambassador Vishnu Prakash, a very important aspect that India, and he's alarmed. No, you're not on cordial terms, madam. You're not on cordial terms at all with Afghanistan. But the bigger aspect is the failure of the United Nations to call out Pakistan. The failure of the United Nations to call out Pakistan. I am not mistaken, Mona. You need to live in the real world and not, what the ISI says. But the bigger aspect. The bigger aspect, and I want to bring in Ambassador Vishnu Prakash on this. The fact that India is telling the world to wake up when Hindus are attacked, when Buddhists are attacked, when Sikhs are attacked. Okay, quickly, Ambassador Vishnu Prakash. When there's an attack on. When there's a conversation about Islamophobia, when there's a conversation about attack on Jews or on Christians, United Nations is up in arms. But when there's an attack on Hindus,
why doesn't it like
Hindus, Sikhs and the Buddhists, the UN is silent. Mona, stop heckling my guest, Mona. Allow me to moderate. But Ambassador, the UN has also been called out. It's a big step taken by India.
Very much so, Gaurav, and that is why the External Affairs Minister of India had said earlier in February that the UN is far less credible today than it has ever been in its history. Now imagine Hindus and Sikhs and Buddhists are 23% of the global population. Yet there are only two options or two possibilities. One, the United Nations does not know of the existence of Hindus, Buddhists and Sikhs, in which case they're incompetent and they should resign. And if they know and they're turning a Nelson's eye, then it is even worse. This is contrived selectivity. And that is precisely why we have been saying that the UN system and the institutions of global governance are outdated. They have to be democratized. They have to be changed so that they
absolutely. And General Gurmeet Singh, very good point raised, sir. Very good point raised, sir. General Gurmeet Singh, India is now boldly telling the world, wake up to new realities. There are 1.2 billion people in the world who follow Hinduism. So many people follow Buddhism and Sikhi. Wake up. When they are targeted, the world must speak up, General Gurmeet Singh.
To be honest, I appreciate India's stand. It was direct and pointed one today. And it has told the UN in no uncertain terms that they have to understand what is the meaning of universalism, what is the meaning of uniform, what is the meaning of the entire mankind. They can't be selective in the condemnation. They got to look at the reality. In fact, the UN not only has got to undergo reforms, but they got to undergo the reality test also. Because in this particular case, just selectively talking about the three aspects of it and ignoring what is actually happening against the Buddhists, Hindus, and the Sikhs, they can't ignore it. Because what has happened in Afghanistan, what is happening in Pakistan, they can't get the eye truth from it. They have to stand to this reality, and they
absolutely. It's a wake-up call. It's a
Absolutely.
wake-up call for the world. Hindu lives matter. Sikh lives matter. Buddhist lives matter. The world must realize that. Mona Alam, as always, many thanks for joining me on this special edition of India First. Mona Alam, General Gurmeet Singh and Ambassador Vishnu Prakash, many thanks for joining me.
Hello everyone, this is Rahul Kamal here. Hope you enjoyed this video. For the latest news and analysis, like and subscribe the India Today YouTube channel and don't forget to press the bell icon to stay updated.